In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Zuckuss for the Saga Legends line, and this was in the Shadow Dark Side line. So this guy has been in my collection for a number of years now. I actually got him back in Christmas of 2010. So similar to the rest of the bounty hunters, he's been with me for a while now. And he's a solid action figure. He's definitely the best Zuckuss we've ever gotten from Hasbro. And it's probably going to be the only one, or not the only one, but the definitive one that we get from here on out. I can't see Hasbro really revisiting this guy. So this one's actually a slight repaint of the Legacy Collection action figure. As far as I know, the only thing that's really a repaint of it is on his skirt here. As you can see, this one has basically some weathering applied to it. And I think on the Legacy Collection figure, he does not have that. Other than that, essentially the same exact action figure. And I think in the Legacy Collection, it was towards the very end of the line, so I think it was somewhere around like figure number 48, 49, 50, somewhere in that range. It was just right before the wave with the Solo Twins in it. So towards the very end of the Legacy Collection. Now, interesting thing about this guy is he was originally supposed to be in the Vintage Collection as is. As we know, he was part of the 2-pack with Forlom, which he was called Forlom in that particular release, and then Forlom was called Zuckuss, similar to how it was back in the Kenner days where they mixed up on that. But I think the action figure that you see here, this one was supposed to be in the Vintage Collection. And there is a pamphlet. I know I have it somewhere, but I seem to have misplaced it. That actually shows it's I think the Bespin Luke, the Echo Base Han Solo, and then Zuckuss is listed on there as well. And it shows him under the Vintage Collection banner. But for some reason it fell through, and then he ended up being in the Saga Legends line instead. Which is okay. I mean, in that Shadow Dark Side Saga Legends line, we got like Greedo and IG-88 and Bosk. So Zuckuss was not out of place there, and he was definitely at home with the rest of the bounty hunters there. But Forlom did get in the TVC line, as is, the 30th anniversary figure. This one right here. So hopefully Hasbro can correct that at some point, because he's a character I think we're going to need at some point. What else can I say about this? So, had him for 14 years. Solid action figure, and let's just go ahead and take a closer look at him. So Zuckuss is a Gand, and I know a thing or two about the Gand because these guys show up all over the place in Knights of the Old Republic 2. And I've read some things here or there about Zuckuss where he's actually force sensitive. I'm not sure if that's an EU thing or a Disney thing. Quite frankly, I don't think that's... I really don't think that's necessary for Zuckuss. I'm fine enough just going with the story that he's a Gand that just happened to be a very good bounty hunter. So he kind of looks similar to Forlom, where he has that bug look to him. So Forlom is a protocol droid, but Zuckuss here has that similar look. But yet he's a Gand, so that's interesting. I have to go back and brush up on his backstory. Still, very nice head sculpt. His silvery eyes. There's that nose there. The rest of his head is brown there, has some nice texturing detail. He does have this breathing apparatus pack, which is removable from his back. And it has these tubes that loop around. Go right there. And he has this extra one right here as well. Seems to plug into the back of his head. Still have the twist tie around his hand with the rifle. Although it is starting to see better days, so probably here in the next couple years it'll be breaking up. As for the rest of him, he does have those pouches there. And he basically has this codpiece here, which holds his skirt in place. This circle right here is actually from when it was pinched in the package. It was kind of like this, and then the flap was over that. It's never gone away, unfortunately. Nice detail on his hand, only has 3 fingers. It's a pouch in the back here. And as I mentioned, this action figure does have some weathering on his skirt. We have his boots here. Very good. He is kind of a short character. We'll bring out, let's say Bosk for instance. He's kind of a shorter guy as well. You can see the huge height difference between the two, which is accurate. Gand are very short creatures. Kind of bug-like. Really cool. He does have a ball joint at the head there, which has a pretty good range of motion. Even with his breathing tubes here, it's not restrictive of him. You pretty much get him into most of the poses that you want him in. He does have hinged shoulders and hinged elbows, swivel wrists, yeah, swivel waist, I think, and then swivel hips, and then hinged knees and hinged ankles. So he is super articulated. In terms of his weapons and accessories, he does have quite a lot. He has this, basically looks like a shotgun. And I think even without the twist tie, it probably still fit well in his hand. And you can't get him to hold the rifle with 2 hands. Holds it very nicely. And because he's in the Saga Legends line, he did have one of these Galactic Battle Game mat cards, which has a nice image of him and Forlom there. Empire Strikes Back. Various symbols and his abilities. And instructions on the back here. I do have the Battle Game mat. I've probably mentioned it before. I'll be sure to do a video on it at some point. It's a very boring game though. I tried playing it once or twice before and it's like, this is not very fun at all. But still, it's nice to collect these cards. They're neat to look at. I did manage to find the die. I know in one of the last videos I did a Saga Legends figure, or it was Clone Wars Commander Fox actually. I mentioned that. Seen them misplace it, but here is an example one. There are black ones, and then most of them are blue. I do have a few of the black ones lying around as well. Those ones came with the Darth Maul Returns battle pack, I think. But yeah, it's just the various symbols that you see on the card, and then you roll your luck. It does come with a stand as well. And it is one of these type of stands where silver, and put the card on the back of it here. If you wanted to do that. And if you recall, back in the Saga Legends days, we used to get packs of weapons. Now, during this time, Hasbro was not doing the footlockers anymore, the clone ones in particular. So they were just putting them in these plastic bags. I have taken some of the weapons out of here, but most of the unique ones that Zuckuss comes with here, I just left in here. And at the time, these were all accessories that, or most of them were accessories that I actually did not really have up to this point. We'll show them off here real quick. And it took me several years to actually figure out exactly where these accessories come from. And I'm pretty sure, at least for this one, This came with Rave Braylor and Isabet Rao from the Republic Elite Forces pack, and they're those female Mandalorians. I do have those, and these are the weapons they come with, but they're a little bit different color, I think. I think maybe this one as well. I would have to go back and check. I'm pretty sure most of these little pistols here come with Mandalorian action figures. They're all cast in black. I really miss the days of Hasbro including these with the action figures. You know, it's funny, at the time everyone complained about getting all these weapons, and especially if it came with like a Jedi or Sith action figure, characters that didn't really need them. But years later, I think people have grown to appreciate them. I think it also came with maybe a DC-15 rifle. You can see there's the small carbine in there, but I think it came with the longer rifle as well. And then maybe a sniper rifle, one of the droid ones. Other than that, it's pretty much all the weapons he comes with. Those are the most unique ones, that is. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can show you with Zuckuss here. So, bring out 4-LOM, his backup. They look really good together. I was very happy at the time to complete this set. I mentioned I got 4-LOM back in 2007, and if I got Zuckuss in 2010, in the wait 3 years, just be able to unite these guys together. But happy they've been part of my collection for this many years now. So would I recommend Zuckuss for your collection? I totally would. He's a fantastic action figure, a fantastic character too. If you're a fan of bounty hunters of any kind, then yes, Zuckuss is an essential one you need. There is a Black Series action figure of him as well, and fortunately he's not that expensive. I did not get him at the time he was released, which I think was like, what, 2017 or 18? He was in that limbo stage where Toys R Us was going out of business in the US, and he was slated to be a Toys R Us exclusive, and then he ended up getting moved to something else, like online or something like that. So I hope to track down the Black Series figure at some point. Happy to have him in my collection. Highly recommended. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for plenty more reviews in the future. There'll always be more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I always appreciate all your support, and check out some of the links in the description if you haven't done so already. As always, thanks for watching.